And we start with some breaking news coming in from Afghanistan. Former Afghan officials have announced to form a government in exile. The government will be headed by first Vice President. This has been confirmed by a statement released by the Afghan embassy in Switzerland. The statement reads, and I quote, "With the departure of President Ashraf Ghani from the country, the first Vice President shall serve as the caretaker of the government and also lead the affairs of the country." The statement further says that the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan is the only legitimate government of Afghanistan, which is elected by the votes of people, and no other government can replace a legitimate one. It also announced its support to the Panjshir Resistance Front, the anti-Taliban front led by Ahmad Massoud. As per the statement, three powers of the government, namely executive, judicial and legislative, will be activated soon, and all Afghan embassies will soon start to function normally. Anas Malik joins us live from Kabul, Afghanistan, for more on this development. Anas Malik, good to see you and good afternoon. There is a new development of a government in exile. The statement is written, released by leaders of the previous government, political leaders and other politicians, but their names have not been disclosed. Do we know the whereabouts of the former Vice President Amrullah Saleh? Well, Anas Malik, do we know the whereabouts of the former Vice President Amrullah Saleh?
Well, Eric, the whereabouts of the former Vice President, or as the government in exile that has been announced, it has been tweeted simultaneously by different Afghanistan's mission handles, those which were embassies which were accredited by the Islamic Republic, by the then government that was formed by Ashraf Ghani, that was being led by former President Ashraf Ghani. They've announced a government in exile today. It is still unclear because the fact that this statement does not have any signatories. It has been posted from different Twitter handles. It has been talked on different aspects, including the formation of the three bodies, that is the executive, judicial and the other bodies as well, in order to govern. With regards to your question on the whereabouts of Amrullah Saleh, well, there are reports that former Vice President Amrullah Saleh is in Tajikistan. He had left for Tajikistan as the Taliban inched closer towards Panjshir just before capturing the province of Panjshir. The Taliban claim that they are in complete control of the province of Panjshir. However, independently, this could not be verified because we've seen that there are some smaller pockets of resistance that are there. Amrullah Saleh, who had left Kabul for Panjshir on the 15th of August through a taxi with the same day when President Ashraf Ghani had left this very country, allowing the Taliban, which were at the gates of Kabul, to come into the city and take charge of the country as well. Eric?
Malik, what does this announcement mean for the Taliban? Because the officials say that the country has been occupied by external factors.
This would be alarm bells. This would be a cause of concern, primarily for the Taliban government, which is actually struggling for any international recognition at this point of time from any of the international community. We've seen aid organizations coming in. We've seen the UN Special Envoy holding meetings, but as we speak, there are no formal recognitions of the Taliban government. And with this statement coming in, that clearly shows that there is a divide between the people of Afghanistan and those who are in the West, those who are in abroad and those who are on ground. Interestingly, the statement also calls the Taliban rule as an occupation, as an illegal occupation, and it has urged the international community to play its role in order to set Afghanistan free from this illegal occupation, quote unquote, as they call it. So the Taliban, while they struggle and they don't have many friends abroad, they don't have many friends in the international community because of their because of their uncouth behaviors or uncouth approaches that have been there, that they have been opting for, including the repression and regression on women that they have been opting for. So the international community does not really fully trust the Taliban, and with this clear crack that is emerging, that has rather emerged with the announcement of a government in exile, this would just mean more trouble for the Taliban, who are desperate to seek international recognition. Eric?
Even if we talk about more trouble for the Taliban, how will this government in exile really work, Malik?
Well, again, there is a lot of ambiguity on how the function of this government in exile would be, because if I go by the Constitution of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, that was applicable at least until the 19th of August, before the Taliban announced of a Sharia rule. Then, by virtue of that definition, Ashraf Ghani, former president, or President Ashraf Ghani, is still the president of Afghanistan. He continues to be the president in exile, because he has not left the charge. He has not announced his resignation, neither he has relinquished the charge. So there would be a lot of questions on the legality of this government in exile that has been announced, that is being led, or rather supposedly being led, by Amrullah Saleh. Because, as I said, for Amrullah Saleh to step in and to fill the shoes of the president, even to take charge as the acting president from his post of first vice president, Ashraf Ghani would either have to shift powers, relinquish his charge, or go for a resignation. In this case, we have not seen that happening. Ashraf Ghani had just left the country. There are reports that he had left with piles of cash, stashes of cash with him. He has, of course, denied those reports. So lots of caveats there, lots of ambiguities there. There is no clear roadmap that has been given, except for calling on to the international community to play on its role. So as and when the time progresses, that would be the nuances, the nitty-gritties would be something that would have to be carefully washed out. Eric?
Live from Kabul, Afghanistan, thank you very much, Anas Malik.